Now, it has been... We say this every week. It's been a busy week. It's always a busy week. So let's have a look back at the last few days with the comedian Ria Lina and from Guido Fawkes reporter Tom Harwood. Good to see you both this morning. And we better start off with a bit of royal news, should we? I mean, I don't quite know what to make of this, in a way.
It does seem extraordinary that when you've had the most turbulent few months that you could possibly imagine for the royal family, suddenly Harry and Meghan just throw the Queen in it, absolutely without any sort of consultation beforehand. It seems very peculiar that this is a couple who want to have royalty a la carte. They want to have all of the benefits of being one of the most sort of well-known senior royals. They want the weddings, they want the attention, they want the regalia, but they don't want any of the scrutiny that comes with it. And I'm sorry, if you're going to be one of the most famous and high royals in the country and the world even, that has some drawbacks as well as benefits, and they've got to recognise its give and take.
Ria?
Well, I mean, I think it's the money thing that makes me angry, all the discussion of money, and they just went, well, we'll be keeping this, we won't be keeping that. We'll try and earn some money on our own. I just went, you're already worth 34
well, they have
million.
said that they will try and be...
Oh, they'll try. But they still want to maintain their
independent
lifestyle, don't they? I can maintain a lifestyle for 34 million. I can tell you that much.
Well, I think they want to enhance their lifestyle, not just maintain it. They're sort of following this model of the Clintons and the Obamas in the United States, and they're going out and going to coin it. There's talk today about Meghan meeting with a French fashion label, and this seems very unroyal. It seems a very peculiar model.
But is it fair to say they want their cake and eat it? Because although it's said in the statement, you know, we will continue to support the royal family, they couldn't say anything else, could they? They couldn't just say, we are removing ourselves entirely from this institution.
Well, in a way, that would be more honest. Instead of trying to have all the good bits, if you like, sort of saying, OK, we're going to have a clean break, we're going to do a complete severance from this family, that would sort of be except they want to keep all those little bits.
It is a family, though, isn't it? It is a family.
They are literally... And the flip side is, I mean, Charles has been talking about slimlining the royal family anyway. We've been talking about the way that Sweden did. And so they've kind of helped that along and said, look, we'll go. Yeah. We'll go and we'll do our own thing. So, on the, you know, in exchange for, please, some kind of quality of life, because we've been hounded for the last 3 years, which they have. They haven't had an easy ride of it.
You mentioned Prince Charles on the front of the Times. It seems that he's threatening to hold back the money that's in his gift to give his son if they step away from royal duties. So that's a sort of threat hanging over them, isn't it?
Well, yes, it's currently, I think he provides 95% of their income. So I suppose it is a huge threat. But as I said earlier, they've already been estimated to be worth between them about 34 million. And let's say Harry gets cut off without a penny. Meghan still has 4 million. And it looks like they're both going to be able to earn at least 300,000 per speech or talk that they attend.
Speech?
So, per speech. Per appearance.
That would be nice, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean, we talk about the royals sometimes as if they're the richest people in the world. They're really not. They could make, with their fame and profile, they could make so much more money outside that system, which is clearly their intention.
OK, let's have a look at... we had PMQs, didn't we, this week? First PMQs of 2020, and that usual exchange between Boris Johnson and Jeremy Corbyn, which ended up being very focused on the Iranian situation. What do we make of how that played out? Go on, Tom. I can see you jumping at the
urgent, so it is odd, to say the least, that Jeremy Corbyn has taken what could almost be described as a pro-Iran line. Boris Johnson, in the exchange, mentioned how this is a man who's taken thousands of pounds from the Iranian Press TV, that sort of propaganda outfit of that state in the past, and he seems to be following through with that line that is consistent from the Labour leadership. It's anti-West, it's pro-people who have been undermining the foreign policy of Western powers and stability that has been trying to create. Ultimately, the general who was killed was a dreadful person, and it didn't seem that Jeremy Corbyn acknowledged that particularly. It's very clear that Soleimani had British blood on his hands. He was funding, he was supplying all of the enemies of the West. And that was not even acknowledged by Jeremy Corbyn, I think was very, very peculiar.
I think on the flip side, though, I get very uncomfortable whenever somebody defends, or, when Boris started saying, he's provided all these weapons to all these people. I'm going, we are not the people to talk about providing weapons to that area at all anyway. And I think that what Corbyn's trying to do, and he's always been very academic, is he wants to make sure that we don't cross over that line of saying, OK, murder is sometimes all right. It's sometimes all right to go into some... That's what he's trying to do. He's doing it at a very high level of academic. I mean, the reality of the situation is as you said, that, Soleimani was not someone that was squeaky clean by any means. Looking at what's happened over the week with that whole thing, of course. So we had the assassination in Baghdad of Soleimani last week. The U.S. have been talking about retaliating. Over the weekend, Trump was saying, "I'm going to hit the cultural sites and I'm going to break all sorts of international laws." Iran, of course, said we will retaliate, which they did late Tuesday night, early Wednesday morning. We saw a couple missile strikes on a couple of bases northwest of Baghdad. It's still in Iraq, and that's the other thing is that we're talking about war with Iran, and all of this is happening in Iraq, where Iraq is in the middle going, hang on, why us? Why we have a say in this, and they have in their own Congress voted that they want the U.S. out. Iran says eventually want the U.S. out of this area.
That's not quite what happened, though, because it wasn't quorum in the Congress. Yeah.
No, it wasn't quorum. Yeah.
Yeah, OK. Look, it is a fascinating situation. We've got lots more coverage on that coming up. For now, thank you both very much indeed. Top stories heading your way in just a moment.